Hey guys, this is the XRP Cowboy. Hey, this is Billy. Hey, um, don't kill yourself. I want to talk about this in the video. I'm going to throw some light information about my history and about your present and your future. I think it's important you pay attention. My dreamers, my fucking roadies. I think this is going to affect a lot of people that's been in this space maybe the last 18 months or so. But here's the thing. I'm in the money making group, and I saw one of the guys was talking about this guy who bought like a shit ton of Luna, and he ultimately he invested pretty much everything he had, and he was like, "There's so much to say, but I need a day to process this," and I didn't sell on the way down because I believed in it, and I didn't want to add to the selling pressure, and I just felt like this guy's walking on the edge of a fucking cliff right now, and I feel for him because if you believe, I was watching whatever the asshole's name is from Terra Luna, and he was on top of the world in this interview that Minus Wells posted at like a week ago. Like he had like this look on his face like he was unstoppable. So I don't think he was in on it, but I guess BlackRock and Citadel set him up really fucking brilliantly, which is odd because you know, I, BlackRock, it's a reputable, well, it's a a huge company. You could say controls the world. The world. They have to be in some form of fucking deep government, but he was deceived by them pretty much. I'm sure you've seen how and why. You can find it real easy. Everybody's talking about it, but he probably just trusted that they weren't trying to fuck him in the fucking ass, right? Yeah, a reputable company like that, and then they did. But the thing is, assuming that's true, and he's what we've seen, I think from Charlie Hopkinson from ADA, I think he wrote it. I'm not certain though, but and this guy wasn't involved. I believe there's hope because they did have this. I look at it like it was this up and coming, fucking great stable coin and this and everything, the system they were using that failed with the algorithms. I think that's beautiful. Problem is they didn't have enough liquidity, right? But the odd thing about it is if they are some form of fucking you know you know deep state government company, you know they have to be, you know they wouldn't do that. But what's odd is once this happened, like not too many hours later, Janet Yellen was ready to fire, almost like she saw it coming. And they're trying to regulate or press the regulation of stablecoins, which effectively could be hurting us deliberately because we're not the whales who don't want to see us swim. It's like she knew, like, and was ready. And ultimately, you know, it tells a story to me that maybe she knew it was coming from BlackRock. Maybe it was all deliberate. But the Rockefeller said, when something drops to a penny, buy it all. Not saying you should do that, but just saying it's a bet. But it's dollar downside, less than $1 downside, and clearly $100 upside in the near term because the market cap is so low. But I'm not saying to buy it. And I get it. The anchor thing that's now being talked about like that was a Ponzi, and that's a little shady. But this isn't what this is about. It's just like about how the fucking money tries to fuck us all the time. They knew they'd hurt us. Do you think they cared about your kids? Fuck no. But anyways, let's take this to another place. We could talk about the market for a minute, and I'll get into the real story. But I wrote a couple things down from investing. Here's, I don't want to talk about that right now because this is kind of a sad video. The Cowboy's even sad. So I think there's a lot of new holders that are feeling the pain that us OGs have felt for a long time. I mean, from a long time ago, really. And it's pretty much that, the world's falling down. But I want you guys to understand something. You've probably been in this space for like 18 months or something. And you've bought on the higher end. But I think 40% of the people are underwater right now. And I have to believe that 40% is probably the people that bought, maybe 18 months, last 18 months, maybe, a year ago to 18 months when things were really hot and retail new people love to buy things on the way up, and they got fucked. Just like we all have in this space. Every YouTuber has been fucked. Just so you know from the first cycle if they're OGs, I say OGs because that's what we fucking are. Right, Jay? Right, Wells? But I'm even hearing some of these veterans, though, worrying right now, which is startling to me because I'm not happy, but I'm not losing sleep. And, I lost a huge fucking few bags in this process of it dropping. But I'm not selling, which, seems to work here. But back when, we got in this in 17, I'll tell you my story. But the new holders, I think, are the ones selling. Because we've been through it before, us older people. So maybe 40% of the people are new or some shit. But, we've got a lot of institutions, hedge funds, which is odd. But, and I guess only 15%, well, this was the numbers that I'd heard somebody, digital asset investor, I think it was, or somebody said it yesterday, of Bitcoin holders were underwater. But that was $1,000, $1,500 higher, or maybe $2,000 now. I like to tell you guys, I hate when the blockchain backer, because he always says he's right, Today he said he was wrong, but he still flipped it some fucking how. But I'll tell you, I really said I was wrong. I thought 29.5, and I gave myself some leeway there to 29 was support. And I gave it an 80% probability, and it didn't happen, guys. Sorry. I don't have a crystal fucking ball, but I'm hoping, though, this, it bounces just like everybody else, but I am buying right now. This is what fucking winning feels like. And I know it doesn't feel good. Hard work never feels good, but when the day is done, you feel great after you put that time and that work into whatever it is. I believe, I believe this is the work. But point is I've been through it before. In 17, I bought Bitcoin at like 3,500. And I remember it going up, and, me and my wife, we never had any money, bank overdrafts all the time. And, tears sometimes because we couldn't pay for something, never borrowed money though. But actually one time I did behind my wife's back with her dad, and it was the most humbling experience. But we don't have to talk about that story. But so it went up, and we actually caught our mortgage up, did everything we could, my business, caught everything up there with the profits. We took like $6,000 and put it into XRP. We paid over $1 per coin. Let's say we had 6,000 coins. And compared to where we're at now, I'm at now, that's like just nothing. But it was then. It was everything. And then she was happy. And the price of XRP went to like $3 plus, whatever it was. And I told her about the night it happened. And she was so happy because we had like, a shit ton of money. I can't remember what it was, but it was like, I remember going to CVS when it went up, and I didn't look at my phone, and I went and picked up some baby formula, and I didn't get the CVS brand, because, and I felt rich, felt wealthy because I didn't have to get the knockoff one, and came home with my chin a little higher, and it wasn't that much money, guys. Remember, I started with 6,000, at $1, so, at $3, what do you got there, 18K? Maybe, yeah, but started dropping. when I looked at my phone in the next day. I wasn't like looking at every 10 minutes, but a lot. And I remember it kept dropping, and then it was like, oh my God, it was much less than I paid for it. And my wife still thought we had $18,000, and she's spending, and at one, I kept wanting to tell her, hey, that we have $3,000, right? Or $5,000. We're underwater, but we still had that money, right? It was in case of emergency. So I let her keep doing. I noticed the spending got a little more. She was buying more groceries and stuff for our 3 kids, and 5 and under, 3 kids. And I'm barely making enough money to pay the bills, and with her job included. But I remember for like 3 months, the price kept dropping, and it dropped to a point where I didn't even want to look at it. But every fucking night, I would, check the price, and it would keep me up at night. And then I started trying to go to bed, and I couldn't, because I think the price just kept dropping. And I remember it was like we had a couple $1,000s or something, you know. And I just remember I stopped, looking, but I'd wake up in the middle of the night and I'd have to check it. I I felt like everything I'd had been taken away from me. Everything. And I still had a couple $1,000s, and I think, whatever. I started freaking out, and I started doing more research and understanding what I owed. And at one point it dropped to like probably, I don't know, 38 cents before it went to below 30 and 20s and stuff. And that's when I started buying again. And I just looked at it like I was getting it on sale. And that happened for probably 3 years. I mean, I really, that first year I didn't do much, but I might have bought a little, but I was still afraid. But after about a year or so, I read and I knew so much, and I put all my extra money in it like a crackhead, buys drugs. And what happened was, I remember, the big COVID thing, and for whatever reason, my business was doing really well, so I, instead of $50 or $20, turned into 500, 1,000, and I was buying sub 30 cents, and then, like 20 cents or 25 cents or 22 cents, something like that. I don't know. But then I got lucky. I was winning some money playing poker, so I was putting that in there every week. It was like 300 to 500, sometimes more. And I had like, so the business was just killing it. And so I started putting in 1,000, 2,000 at a time, right before it rocketed up to $1 for a split second. I remember that, and I'm like, I should have sold it because it crashed all the way back down to whatever it was, 38 cents or 50 cents or 30 cents. I don't remember. And then ultimately we had some time to accumulate more, and I kept buying. And then the lawsuit came, and I saw it go from what I went up before the lawsuit to like 68 cents or 70 cents, if my memory's right. And then it dropped all the way back down again. And I kept buying. Then it hit like 14 cents. And I think I had like, I don't know, I had a lot of money at the time. And I had Stellar too. And I took all my Stellar that I accumulated the last few years and that money, and I bought it below 20 cents somewhere. And I had this huge bag. And then it went to $2. Once again, now I have life-changing wealth, but I didn't sell, I didn't want to move it because I believe in it. But the point is I can understand how somebody that just got into this space could feel like they want to die or kill themselves. Because I didn't want to kill myself, but I knew that every day for a long time after that dropped so significantly, I was stressed and I felt like I let myself down, but more importantly, my kids and my family. And I knew, you know, if I had that 6,000 in a bank account, if there was an emergency, I could get it, but I'd lost it all. It was like, for the first time in our life, we can pay our bills on time with the struggle. And I just took our emergency money and threw it away. And my wife thought it was like $18,000, and it was like two. And she'd ask me about it, and I couldn't, I had to lie to her. I'd say, oh, it's down a little, but you know? So I just want you to know, guys, that, you know, it's a brighter day tomorrow. You know, I was watching the Bull today and he was talking about some of his comments about people contemplating suicide. And I've seen some too, not on my page, but in my group with, well, it wasn't even there in the money making group, but I felt those undertones to the wording. But I've seen it on other YouTubers because I watch a lot of YouTubers. I spend about 3 hours a night doing that. And I did tonight. I started early so I could make this video, but I could see it there. They're there. I mean, 2008, people were jumping off of fucking buildings, and you know, it's very similar to the way the newer people are feeling. The people that have been in the space for 5 6 years, like me, you know, we've been through it before. It doesn't affect us the same way we joke about it. But when I experienced it the first time, and I'm pretty sure everybody else on YouTube that did experience it, but they were smart enough to stay in the space, they'll tell you it changed their life, that stuff. And we questioned if we made the right decision. And then when we started buying again, we had to ask ourselves if we were fucking crazy, Billy. And he would say, yes, we were. Because it was different. It was all fucking fairy dust back then and ideas. We just could see the forest through the woods. So know that you're in the right space. I can't tell you if it's going to drop next. You know, technically, it's scary if I said what I see. But I want you to know, technically, it should go to 20K. But this isn't the same as it was then. You know, things are different now. They are. Of institution manipulation. I still feel like the bottom's in. I feel like the lower we go below 29K is, the more likely it's about to rocket back up, you know, in the short term. Because I've felt this pain before. I've lived it. You know, it doesn't have to, the truth is, it doesn't have to fucking rocket straight up. I just think BlackRock's going to have to buy, and a lot of people are buying right now, so it will. And once it starts moving, everyone's going to jump on and say, oh, we got to get it before it goes too high. We don't want to pay fucking 40K for it. You know, and I'm sure some of these early buyers at the price right now will sell at 40K. But the thing is that's the cycle of a market. That's what happens. But the truth is if we start seeing it move 5% or 10% a week, we're all going to feel a lot better. And that could be the path too. But I want you guys to know this drop that you're feeling right now is insignificant compared to what we felt. When I bought Bitcoin at $3,000, 3,500, it's like $20,000 was a fucking dream. I mean, that's, you know, it was like unbelievable, right? And then for it to fall from grace all the way down to 3,500 again, it just, people were crushed. But that is so much more significant than if you bought it at 20K and it went to 60 and now it's at 30. Or if you bought it at 40 and it dropped to 30. Or if you bought it at 60 and it drops to 20. It's so insignificant. 20 was like this number that was impossible. And we're at 30 right now. The problem that the people that are stressed are having is they didn't buy it before it was 20. They bought it after. So it makes them feel like the end of the world is coming. But I'm telling you right now, it's not. Right now, 30K may seem insignificant like 20 does now when it goes to 150K. And it is going to. It's going to go beyond that. And the market follows it. But you have all this money flowing out of the market. And what do these whales want to do with it? They want to buy because they're greedy. When they sell, they're not making money. Just imagine if XRP this week or next week, just imagine the market's dumping for the next 7 days or week or month, whatever. And then XRP has clarity. Where do you think all this money, this exit liquidity is going to go into? And so let's talk about why the market's even down. Well, it's following the stock market. That's the clearest and most obvious situation. you know? Well, we have this Terra Luna thing, but it was going down before that. We have a war. We have a lawsuit. We have regulative unclarity, and everyone's threatened. So, if you think about it like that, we have interest rates, fear because of inflation. But, I mean, that'll take care of itself. So, all we need is some good news with that, or with the lawsuit, or with the Russia, or the stock market starts recovering, or Terra Luna throws some good emails out there how they're getting this worked out. Their biggest problem was liquidity, but who knows? Or is it a more sinister thing with Janet Yellen? She knew too soon. We see Tether dropping. We really need Tether to recover, to throw away that conspiracy thing. But they've been surviving a long time with a lot of bad news. I mean, maybe they're safer than we think, or maybe it's a bigger risk than we know. I don't know. But I just wanted to touch base with everybody. Know that the pain, the significant drop of the market was what allowed me to accumulate and get things cheaper and put me in a position right now. So I'm still way up, way up. I don't even know because but I do know it's way up from where I started, even with this huge crash in the market. Bitcoin's down over 50%. A lot of alts are down 70% plus, but still way up. And that's the position you are in. You're just living what I experienced. I'm in a time machine. I travel through time faster than you because I am where you will be, because I was where you were at. Just saying. I hope this helps. Maybe it doesn't, but this really was a feel good about, if you're in a bad place right now, this is actually what winning feels like. It's when you're buying cheap, diversified through time. If you have $1,000 you want to spend, buy fucking 200 right now, buy another 200 tomorrow or the day after, and buy, just keep doing that until it's used up. Don't fucking throw it all out there right now. I can't imagine the price is going to go down much more though, but 20K is in play based on the charts. The charts, they're the technicals, the charts, that's technicals. People don't want to bring fundamentals into play, which is all the things going on. And I would argue the fundamentals are what's bringing the charts down right now, and not the technicals. I think they're following the world and all this shit in the stock market. And once there's a better narrative there, the fundamentals will push the technicals up. So you can't believe in the charts always, blockchain backer. The world's different now. We have institutions controlling the world. They're not going to let this drop too much more. My dreamers, my roadies, please like, subscribe. Hope you're doing well. Live to fight another day. It's important to see that sun fucking shine on your face. Boat drinks.